Hello and welcome to a new episode of the devlog of Runes of Aereal. This time I've been concentrating on adding the new controls and the new look and feel to a number of other screens in the game. So you already saw in a previous devlog that we had created some different controls here on the main menu. But now let's go to the library, for example, and go to the cards, and then you'll see here that this library also now has this interface where you can see the details of the cards, and the same applies here to other types of interface. So let's start a new game here, and you'll see that we already have some changes here in the character screen selection, and we've got this fly-in menu, and from the fly-in menu you can also see the inventory, for example, which is also already in a new interface. And for example, we also got the in-game menu, which has changed. So let's go try and do a battle, for example. So the sandbox was already changed a little bit, but it's really some things for testing and stuff like that. Let's just start some sandbox here. It doesn't really matter what the sandbox looks like, it's just for testing purposes really. And here this interface changed a little bit. You can see that the backgrounds here are a bit more flu and a bit more expressed here at the bottom, and also if I press escape or press this button here, you can see it's no longer the book interface, but it's also the interface with the inventory and stuff like that. So it's the same thing coming back here, the same theme, the same look and feel for every single screen which is in the game actually. So this was quite some work to do because I had to get rid of all of the different things here. So what happened, for example, in the interface here, all of the buttons at the left hand side here that were these buttons inherent to the card interface were removed in favor of these fog buttons here. But of course these scrolling delimiters stayed. The principle where all of these items, whether it be cards or artifacts or crafting items and stuff like that, are still pinned to this scroller here, which can go up and down if you move the mouse wheel. And then there's this scroll overlay that allows hiding of the cards here, and that's, and in my opinion, actually better than in the former one, in the former interface, where it was really cut off by the edge of the book. Now you can see here that it's actually a bit fading in and fading out, inherent to the fact that actually this banner, which is here on top, which you cannot see or can hardly see actually, is this is a copy of the background but cut out, and then having some fade out created here in my image editor. I did some fade out so it can, the alpha value of the background is going towards 0, so that means that it appears as such that the cards are disappearing from the screen or appearing on the screen depending on what you scroll towards. So in fact, for the rest, this interface stays the same, but these different buttons work now in the same way as the old buttons do, but they basically look a little bit differently. But this was quite some work to get out the old interface and to get the new interface back in. The same applies, by the way, for the crafting interface. So here you can see that it is a little bit different. You can go to the healing spellbook, and you can see that the book has also disappeared in favor of like more a more simple interface, an interface with less controls on it. And you can see that it works basically the same, and you can still do the same thing. I don't have this frog thing. Let's do something else. I don't have nuts. We do have all of these, so let's do that. Put the worm in place, put the scroll in place. Craft. So that's with the new scrolls, of course, and the new interface, totally revamped. I'm not 100% satisfied with this crafting interface. For example, here at the left-hand side, switching between the items and the books is not 100% intuitive yet, so in later phase I might come back to this interface a bit and change the way it works. But in general, here at the right-hand side, how these things work, I'm quite satisfied with. So that as well is working in benefit here. So that's basically it, what I've been doing in the past few days and weeks. There's a lot of changes here, a lot of refactoring and getting those things out. Now, what I suspect is that there will be quite some bugs coming out. So the next few weeks will probably involve testing the entire thing and going through a lot of bugs which are coming from redesigning and refactoring all of these things into the game. So I hope you like it. I hope you like the new interface. I do. As always, please like, please subscribe, and see you next time.